Hi, so we had to make a second video because the pre-recorder only does 15 minutes. So this is the second part, and I think the last part of the role play session for us. So the last clip, at the very end, we were going over talking about some of the strengths of the client and what he would like to work on, as well as what he would like to get out of the sessions, as well as what he would like to see happen with his aid. So we're just going to go right into talking about that. So I'll start it off. What would you like to see happen between you and your aide?
Ideally, I would like our relationship to go back to the way that it was. She was helpful, and I didn't feel guilty about being unhelpful to her.
Okay. So how do you think that you could go about getting building that rapport back with your aide?
I'm not sure. I feel like maybe if I were able to speak to her or supervisor or somebody from the agency with her, to let her know it wasn't my doing. I was contacted. It just happened that way.
Okay. So have you had this thought before about getting her supervisor involved?
No, I hadn't.
Okay. So do you think that that is something that you'd be able to do and would be comfortable doing?
I don't know. I'm with some sort of nervousness.
Okay. So why would you feel nervousness about talking to your aide and her supervisor?
I wouldn't want her to feel like she's being put on the spot. She might get defensive, thinking that I'm calling her out for doing a bad job, even though she is doing a bad job now.
Right. So how could you word that, or what do you think that you could do to ensure that she doesn't feel that way?
I'm not really positive.
Okay. So that's something that we can, discuss and discover together. And if you're not ready to do that, that's fine. This session is more about exploring possibilities and brainstorming on what you would like to do, and how you would like, this to go, and how you would like to feel at the end of this. And that's an important question to keep in mind as we go through our sessions. That you are the person that wants to feel good and independent and in control again. So, how would you like to feel? What do you think? What would you like to feel by the end of these sessions?
Less guilt and more just autonomy of my own life.
Right. So, how do you think we could get there?
Like I said, I think I have to talk to her. And
So that's something that we can definitely work on. Like I said before, I think one of your strengths is the fact that you're a caring and compassionate person, and you do truly want to help. So I do think that you should, if not taking notes, I think you should do mental notes about when you are compassionate and when you're caring to your aide, who is not always, compassionate and caring to you in return. So, during one of our next sessions, we can talk about that and the progress that you made. So I do want you to know that, if you're not doing, some of your homework, I would call this homework, outside of, our sessions, you may not see the results that you want right away. It is a process. So, the sooner that you're able to try, even a little bit, even if it's once a day, I think that's better than holding on to reservations. Do you think that you could, even if it's once a day, try out, building some more rapport with her, and also, trying to talk to her about, how this is making you feel and how this is affecting your life?
sure,
Okay. So the next time that we talk, we'll talk about that, and as we go along, we'll add, more things that come up into the conversation, as well as, rediscuss rediscover some of your old strengths that you may have forgotten along the way. So next time we meet, that's what I would like to work on. And is there anything that you would like to work on next time?
No.
Okay. So are you comfortable with doing this?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to thank you for your time, and I'll see you next session.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the theory that I used, as well as the therapy that I used. I used person-centered therapy to talk about the client's problems. Person-centered therapy is focused mainly on the individual strengths of the person, helping him to helping him to find inner strength, as well as rediscover old strengths that he had that he may have forgotten about due to being in a crisis situation. So I also talked about coping, cognitive coping. Basically, that is just letting him kind of come to his own terms with what's going on, as well as things that he can do to talk to his aide as well. I think something that I could let the class know, or something that I think I could focus on a little bit more, is what he could do outside of the sessions. That's person-centered driven, but the actual activities. It was kind of hard to find activities for person-centered therapy and theory that wasn't like homework or keeping a journal. I did a little bit of research, and it was kind of hard to find other person-centered therapy theory. Person-centered theory activities that he could do outside of session. One thing with the person-centered theory, it's supposed to be short sessions. This isn't a prolonged therapy, so he's supposed to come in for maybe 15 weeks, and at the end of it, he's supposed to be basically confident. He's supposed to have found confidence enough to deal with those negative emotions and be able to speak up for himself and be his own advocate. And then with coping, the cognitive coping, he's supposed to learn how to deal with daily stressors that might trigger him again to become withdrawn, lethargic, not wanting to do anything when that stressor is his aide. Because he has said plenty of times that he wants to keep her around, he wants to build rapport with her again, yet she is the one causing the stress, and to see if they can come to some mutual agreement, and that's also why I mentioned that he should work on, trying to talk to her and be compassionate with her, because that is one of his strengths, as he wants to keep her as one of his aides, because they worked well together before all of this happened. Whether or not that is doable would be in the foreseeable future, and it would basically have to be a time will tell situation. So I could definitely use some insight from my classmates on what other techniques or alternatives they would come up with for this situation. It is a situation working with older adults, myself, in real life, that has come up. They don't want to lose these aides because, they've been working with them for so long, and they just see it as a misunderstanding. Whereas, and it can also happen in reverse, where, the aide has said something, where the client has said something to the aide, and the client is now, up in arms, and, they're at each other's throats, but yet neither want to leave because, they care about each other, but they just don't know how to come to an agreement or mutual ground. So I would definitely appreciate feedback on this. And I apologize. I'm not the best on camera, but I definitely did try. So thank you.